Well, I was reporting the fact that Deena Castleman was home so they could come and arrest her. And minutes after I called the detective to tell him, former Judge Baumgartner showed up and came and talked to Deena for a few minutes. I called the detective back and told him, hey, there's this judge here. Can you guys try and, maybe speed up your tripper a little bit so you can maybe catch him here, because it's not looking too good, in my opinion. I didn't want her to get out of a charge for something because there's a judge involved in our case. And so he leaves, the judge leaves, and the cops come up around the corner, and to me it seemed like the timing of it, they had to have passed each other. And it just seemed like the whole time, because after the cops got there and arrested her, I told them that, hey, there was this judge here. He left, he would have had to pass you guys. And they just kind of seemed to look the other way and brush it off like, okay, this doesn't matter. And I didn't know if they were going to go back and say to the supervisor, hey, this is what this girl said, can you look into it? But apparently they didn't, because I didn't hear anything about it for another year. And by that time it just seemed to, it seemed like it didn't matter anymore what he had done. TBI came and wanted to have a conversation with me about what I saw and what happened. I asked them, why didn't the cops do anything? Why is this taking a year? And they basically, the investigator basically told me that, well, to be honest with you, it was above their pay grade. And I feel like that's a real cop-out. I don't think that something like that should be above somebody's pay grade. I think it should be a moral problem inside of you that you should investigate within your own mind as to whether you should say something or not. And me, I felt like I was morally compelled to say something. It did not seem right in my mind that someone could get away with doing those things. I did have pictures of him, his car, both outside of Deena's house, him and her talking, and then him and her talking at the courthouse the day she had court, in two different areas. And it just, I don't know, it was very frustrating because once all this came out and they decided that he wasn't fit to be a judge anymore, and the only trouble he got into was having to go to rehab, not having his job, having to go to rehab, and he got to keep his pension. And it just seems like to me that if someone's going to get fired from their job in that way, in any job, they should not have $150,000 a year to spend how they see fit when they're costing the county millions of dollars. It just, I think that money should go towards all the new trials that the county's having to pay for. It's not fair that we have to pay for his drug habit, because if he was that bad before he got caught on drugs, then God only knows what he's going to continue to do. It would have at least saved a year of trials, and I don't know the exact number of trials that a criminal court judge would do in a year, but I'd say it's more than a couple. It would have saved some trouble on the county. Would have saved some money if they had said something sooner and just been like, someone had manned up and said something to someone that counted, or even to the judge himself, and just been like, look, you're busted. Why don't you go ahead and step down, save some people some trouble.